Greetings from LA, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope that this video finds you well and in very good spirits wherever you are in the world. Today, right now, it is Saturday, June 7th, 2025. It is the evening here, the early evening here in Los Angeles. I am so thrilled because earlier today, I was able at long last to visit the Criterion Closet, the mobile closet. As some of you may know, Criterion is famous for many things, including its famous closet of current Criterion titles in its physical media catalog, which is comfortably and legendarily housed in their New York offices. But Criterion also, in recently, decided to tour their very famous Criterion Collection closet, or the Criterion Closet. I decided to tour it using a van. Here is a toy model version of this van, this Criterion Closet. Well, I was so fortunate to see this van not in the toy version size, although I'm glad to see the toy version as well, but in the actual size, because today Criterion toured this van, or brought this van to Los Angeles. It actually, the Criterion Collection brought the van to Los Angeles actually a couple months ago. I wasn't able to go on that previous occasion, but this weekend too, Criterion brought the Criterion Closet, mobile Criterion Closet, the actual one. This time in a wonderful place called the Aero Theater, Aero, Aero Theater, which is in Santa Monica. And in fact, they parked the van just to the side parking lot area, the side parking area, just right next to or adjacent to the actual building structure of the Aero Theater. So it was great. So they were here yesterday, so Friday, and then today, Saturday. A friend of mine and I endeavored to go yesterday, Friday, but just due to circumstances, we weren't able to, or we arrived, but there were so many people yesterday, Friday. So many people, so many wonderful enthusiasts of cinema, physical media, and indeed, of course, the Criterion Collection. The line was long, my friends, yesterday. It was like, imagine the most popular ride at Disneyland, and add an exponent to that. It was really intense. I mean, it was encouraging on the one hand, of course, because it meant that Criterion's fame and popularity, as measured in the actual people that were there lined up yesterday, Friday, their Criterion's popularity is not going anywhere, my dear friends. They are not only here to stay, but emphatically they are here to stay. So, as shown by, among other things, the wonderful turnout that we saw yesterday, Friday. But unfortunately, what that meant for my friend and I, for my friend and me, was that unfortunately we just missed the cutoff. They were limited in time and space. The Criterion Collection was limited in time and space. So we arrived. We thought they would start at 11. We thought we would have a little bit of time, but we didn't anticipate just how intense the popularity would be. And so we arrived, but not quite quick enough. So we were turned away, very politely, I should say, by the wonderful Criterion Collection staff who were there, as well as the great staff of the Aero Theater and volunteers who took care of the situation so graciously. They were such gracious hosts, and I'll get into that in a minute. So unfortunately, what that meant for me and my friend yesterday was that we couldn't go to the Criterion Closet on Friday. But I didn't want that to stop me. So my friend couldn't come today, Saturday, but I told him, okay, I'll try to go Saturday morning myself. And so that's what I did. But instead of arriving later, I decided to arrive very early, and I didn't want to risk being turned away again. So I woke up very early, earlier than usual, and I drove from my home to Santa Monica, to the Aero Theater, and after after that effort, or the result of that effort, I'm very happy to say, was I was able to find a place in line, and in a comfortable position. So under the rules that Criterion staff had established already, so it all worked out well in the end. So what happened, therefore, that I was able to secure a spot in the line for the Saturday, June 7th, 2025 Criterion Closet visit at the Aero Theater in Santa Monica, in Los Angeles, California. So very, very fortunate indeed. There were so many things happening. I met so many wonderful people, people waiting in line. So many people came up to me and were very. They didn't, I was so rude to intrude upon their own. I mean, many people were there with friends. Some people came by themselves, like myself. I came by myself. But there was such great camaraderie. People were talking about movies, Criterion Collection stuff, and the like. It was great, and they were all there for under the same love of cinema. The same thing, this great thing that we all love, which is cinema. I should point out too. I'll point out some of the details of the actual Criterion Collection Closet visit as well. But before I do, I should point out a few things. I was able to get some goodies there. Let's see, there was some, people were handing out, for instance, Criterion pins. So I got a nice Criterion pin there. That was really nice. Some people too, there was a Criterion member who was walking around and doing movie trivia, and the winner, they'd read a question from their phone, and then whoever got the right answer would get a little prize, and so that was nice. So I was part of that when the Criterion Collection person was walking around. So I overheard one of the questions was, it was great. It was like, who is the director of the teen apocalypse, the films that are known collectively as the teen apocalypse trilogy, and the director's name is Greg Araki. So whoever said the answer Greg Araki, they get a prize. So the question that was submitted to the group while I was participating was, in the film Mildred Pierce, who portrays who is the actor that portrays the character Mildred Pierce. So I was able to jump in there and say, oh yes, I know Joan Crawford, and so I got the answer right. So as part of my my winning the trivia, I got me another Criterion Collection postcard poster booklet, starting from it's the edition that starts from Arsenic at Old Lace and ends somewhere around the piano. So it's got everything in between, so very nice. So those of you who know, there you go, Via Daya, it's right there. We've talked about that on this channel before. And the Lost Highway you can see there, and the like. So that was my prize that I got for winning that or answering that trivia question correctly. And any other everyone else who answered other trivia questions would, I think, get the postcard book. So that was very cool. And then, as I say, I met so many wonderful people, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later in this video. But first, let me now share with you, if you don't mind, I made a little montage of my morning prior to entering the Criterion Closet. What you'll see now is just a little montage I've put together. So please enjoy, and I'll be back after it's done. So it's a few minutes, so I'll be back after it's done. So I'll see you in a bit. Oh, greetings from LA, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I'm here in Santa Monica at the Aero Theater, or just on the corner, right near the Aero Theater. And as you can see behind me, there's the Criterion Closet. It's now a little bit after 8 a.m. I came here very early to get my ticket, or to wait in line, because apparently it's a really hot item. So it's Saturday, and I'm very excited. So I'm lining up. I think they're going to start letting people in around 11, a little bit earlier, but maybe before that, just wait in line, because they said you have to start waiting in line from about 8 or 9, so I'm here early. So look at that. Isn't that cool? Look at that. That's really nice. So their closet isn't open yet, but people are lining up and getting ready to pick out their favorite Criterions, so and myself included. Greetings from LA, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I am in line. I'm in line. Can you see that? That's the Criterion Closet. It's right now. What's the time right now? It's about.
It is 8:26.
Thank you very much. It's 8:26, so it's going to open up
8:11.
at 11 o'clock. So might open early. Okay. All right. So I'm very close, and yeah. So I think everyone's deciding on what they want to get, and already there's an excitement in the air. People are excited, so I'm gonna wait a little bit more and then check it. But I'll be back. So anyway, thank you very much and cheers. Thank you. Okay, so as you can see there, I arrived around a little bit before 8 o'clock, but I was able to secure my place a little bit before then, and then I waited in line. The time of schedule for the actual opening of the closet doors for everyone to arrive was 11 a.m., but thanks to the great efforts and endeavors of the Criterion Collection, staff and personnel, the Aero theater personnel, the volunteers and staff that were there that were so courteous, so gracious. They were able to start actually opening the doors for people to visit at around, I want to say 9:30 or 9:45. So a good maybe hour, 20, 30 minutes before the actual scheduled time. So well done. Bravo to the great team. Was on the ground there today. It was wonderful. Everyone was so friendly, by the way. They were very courteous of everyone who was there, and of course, it's in a sort of it is in a residential area, so they were also trying to be sure that the neighboring areas weren't being there wasn't any undue disruption with the sudden amount of people that were lining up on the sidewalks there. So I think they handled it very well, and the people who were lining up as well. Everyone was so. It was such a lovely crowd, a lovely demeanor. As we were waiting, people were talking to each other. What films you want to get in the Criterion Collection closet? Oh, what films do you like? Oh, what have you seen recently? Sharing cinema stories, looking at the shirt. Like people were wearing these great shirts. I saw someone that was near where I was standing, and she had a wonderful Michael Shannon fan shirt with Michael Shannon's face. It was so brilliant. It was one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen. And other great, I saw someone wearing a Greg Araki, it was the film Nowhere t-shirt. I saw someone with some great, there was a lot of people wearing David Lynch themed t-shirts, which touched my heart. It was so great. I saw many people wearing like John Carpenter. I wore my the Thing t-shirt and many movie themed t-shirts. It was wonderful, absolutely wonderful, and the conversation was great. Oh, I forgot to say. So the general setup was that you'd go into the Criterion closet and you'd have approximately 3 minutes, and you would pick 3 titles from the closet. And the closet itself had a stock of the currently available titles. So no out of print titles, no OOP titles, unfortunately, but they did have the currently available stock. For the most part, there might be some that would have been maybe just, they might have just run out of stock on that day. I know Criterion also made the effort to make some titles that aren't yet released in North America. They try to make some of those made available a little bit ahead of time. So, for example, I couldn't get a copy of it because it went at I think it sold out really quickly. But I heard that, for instance, Sorcerer 4K was available at the Criterion Closet yesterday. So I know people who got a copy of their 4K source. I wasn't able to because it sold out by the time I got there today, but that was a hot item. I think also I heard Anora, the Sean Baker film, was very popular. I heard also that there were some titles that they were running low stock on, etc. But for the most part, I think they had a good stock. I should say too that they handed out a tote bag. Now, where is it? Here we go. They handed out a tote bag for everyone to carry. So here's the tote bag that I got. So that's a nice tote bag with the C there. And then on the back there, or the front, my Criterion Closet picks. And inside, they gave this out to everyone. And inside they had 2 things here. They have this large postcard, which is a promotion for the Criterion channel. So they're giving a promotion like free first month free trial for promotion for the subscription for the Criterion channel, the online Criterion channel. I'm sorry, the streaming Criterion channel. And then the other thing they had was this booklet. We can see here. It's this lovely booklet here, and what it is it's a checklist of all of the spine number titles, starting from 1, Grand Illusion, and going all the way through. I'm sorry, maybe it's difficult to see. I apologize, but it's a checklist going up to. I know this was going up to. I want to say it's not up to the most recent ones, but up to spine number 1242, which is the Shape of Water, which is right here, and then from here they have a section for box sets. So they have a box set. Oh, and they do list here even the titles that are out of print. So I mentioned, for instance, spine number 1, Grand Illusion. Other out of print titles like Hard Boiled, The Killer, they're also listed here. They're out of print, so they weren't in the closet today, unfortunately. They weren't in the Criterion closet today, but they're just listed for purposes of this booklet that was part of the tote bag that they were handing out to everyone there. And then they have a section here for the box sets. So like the AK100 DVD set, that's listed here. Unfortunately, that's out of print, but that's listed here for purposes of the catalog. But they have other things too that are available, like the Ingmar Bergman Cinema set, the Essential Fellini set, the Wong Kar-wai set. And also they have and etc. And they also had a section for the Eclipse series sets, which was wonderful. And then also at the end here, they have the Janus Contemporaries lineup. From all the way up to the Ryuichi Sakamoto opus work. And then a list of people here who have visited the Criterion Closet. It's an interesting array of names. Very famous people, of course, who have visited the closet. And as we know, thanks to the great thing that is the Criterion Closet video that you can find on the Criterion Collection social media platforms, YouTube or Instagram, etc., and also part of, for instance, the CC40 box set from late last year. The Criterion Collection Closet videos have been, I think, a wonderful hallmark of the social media online presence, and also now the sort of the physical actual presence of Criterion, thanks to the tour of the Criterion Collection Closet van that we had stop by Los Angeles today. So the Criterion Collection Closet videos are great, but in any event, this is part of that adventure, part of that fun. So anyway, going back to the rules that they established, we only had about 3 minutes or so, and also just to accommodate all the people that were there, they wanted to be sure that everyone that was lined up as many people could enter as possible. And in order to facilitate that as much as possible, they asked people to enter the van in a single instance, maybe in groups of 4 or 5. Which I totally understood, because again, that would hopefully allow that would hopefully allow those more people to come, because they were there on a time limited basis. They had to leave at a hard stop. So in order to make sure that as many people could visit the closet within that time window, they decided, rather than to allow single person entries that would be there for 3 minutes, they'd have like that 3-minute chunk, which I think they very graciously extended over, given the people that have the largeness of the group. Single person visits would then be taken over by, say, groups of 3, 4, or 5 at once. So then that would hopefully allow more people to visit within the allotted time. And I think it worked. It worked really wonderful. And it also meant that you could go in, and people that you were lined up with, maybe you didn't know, strangers before, then you were talking to and maybe sharing ideas about what you wanted to get, etc. Because again, people were only limited to 3. So you only had to pick 3. So you had to choose which ones, and you had to think which ones you wanted to get. And I think people were so excited, but also just maybe changing their minds. Maybe they wanted this, but then they think, well, if I enter the closet, then I might change my mind, because I'm just overwhelmed with all the selection, etc. And totally understandable. That's part of the fun, after all. So, but in any event, that was the situation. So I was very luckily invited to a group of 4 total, myself included, with the people around me in the line. So a very friendly group of people, very lovely. And they very kindly invited me to be part of their group. So we were a total group of 4, and just we were then for waiting for our turn, our group's turn, as the line slowly but surely went to the top there, and it did. And we entered the closet, and then we also were allowed a video to be taken in the closet itself. And so what I'm going to show you next is when it came time for our group to enter. We waited outside for the prior group to finish up. Then they left, and then it was our turn. So we walked up the sort of the steep steps, entering into the back door that was at the back of the van, and then we entered through. And then we were there for, I want to say, I think they said 3 minutes, but I feel like we were there for a bit longer. They were very generous with the time. So if it's okay with you, my dear friends, what you have next is the actual footage of our group's time in the Criterion closet, and each of us trying to figure out what titles we were getting. Again, we had a choice of up to 3 that we could get, and we would, I should say too that we would then pay for them outside in a sort of outdoor tent that was next to the van, 40% off the retail price or the listed price. So. But it was a great occasion to do. So I picked 3. I know that other people in my same group maybe picked 1, 2, or 3 max. So, but in any event, here is the footage of us, our group, just entering the van, and then now the actual Criterion closet as we enjoyed it for that entire expense. So here it is. I hope you enjoy it.
No problem at all. We're here to help you. Does anyone want
Once we are out of that, really?
Maybe, yeah, it was very popular yesterday.
Yeah.
What's the spine? It's on the bottom right.
Yeah, it should be back there. But
I can't see it.
I'll find it.
no, I don't. And then Red Rocket. Red Rocket, we don't. It's not an option.
But we've got other Sean Bakers.
I'm like blown away right now.
But but Triangle of Sadness is right here. It's the Blu-ray. I'm sorry, the DVD version. And then
926 Manila. Let's see if it's there.
It is not.
So,
There's one outside. You should double check. Yeah, that one is. It's not in here. It's going to be sold out, but we can double check. We have one, but it's only part of the World Cinema Project. Okay. Yeah. And that's amazing.
It is.
Pull it up, of course. Do you have Prince of Broadway? Another Sean Baker early film?
Yeah. No.
Umbrellas of Shore.
Yes. That one.
Thank you. Right there. There's another. This one is the 4K.
Name some Akira Kurosawa movies.
High and Low, Kiru,
Rashomon.
Throne of Blood. There you go.
Dreams.
Yes.
These are Dreams. Okay. Yes, that is.
Scanners.
I like that
Visual
game.
John, nice.
That's right. Yes. It's my favorite.
Well, oh, sorry. Ooh,
Back left, I think.
I don't know.
So it's confirmed no more Manila.
So they're just looking. But I do not think so. I think it was very popular yesterday.
Yeah, because they played it at the. They played it yesterday. And it's a 50th year.
Right.
I totally get it. Yes. I'm glad. Yay! It's Tagalog cinema.
It's good.
Triangle Stars.
Your file's just around there.
Oh,
I think.
You're welcome.
it's 671, so it should be. Yeah, there
Yeah,
it
we
is.
got it.
So if anyone wants to stand on that center mark and talk about your picks, that would be great.
to start? I already have them. So.
You just going to ask about that.
All right. So I chose Killer of Sheep, which is a great Charles Burnett film, recently released by Criterion, fantastic. And then Fishing with John, which is a great DVD, 42, so my favorite Criterion movies. And then another favorite Criterion was Mishima, but this is 4K. So thank you very much, Criterion.
You can just go.
Yeah. If you could stand back just a tiny bit, you'll be able to hear the audio better.
Okay.
Hi, okay, so I'm going to talk about Triangle of Sadness because this was a birthday movie a couple years ago, and I watched this with my mother, and she literally went on a luxury cruise a month later, so that was a really good experience for her. And Umbrellas of Cherbourg, because it's not the Jackie Chan box set, but it's the other one that I chose, and it's really special to my heart. It's a beautiful movie. And then Ryuichi Sakamoto's Opus, because I cried because I miss him and his music. So those are my picks.
I haven't seen anyone pick Opus yet, so it's very exciting.
Now,
it's such a beautiful movie.
now I've got music in my head, even just holding up the film.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Or blood simple.
Back wall towards go straight. Go a little bit to your left. Right there.
I got my picks.
What'd you get?
So I also got Umbrellas of Cherbourg. It was a movie I saw in film school, and it was, as a cinematography fan, I just love the combination between Demi and the cinematographer as well. I'm afraid to say his name. I think it's Robert or something. It's hard to pronounce, but it's
What's
John.
Cinematographer of Umbrellas.
John.
I will look this up.
Yeah, Robier. That's it. That
Oh,
sounds.
Robrier.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Robrier, right?
I'm not going to put myself
Yes,
on the
I
spot.
think it is that.
I just think that their combination is so. Whenever they do a collab, it's very luxurious and decadent and beautiful, and obviously has inspired so many films. And the angles, everything about this film is so fun, and it's just traumatically sad in a good way. And then in honor of Pride Month, La Cage aux Folles is a great film. My partner and I are big films of fans of Birdcage, and so I haven't seen this film, but it's interesting to see because that movie hasn't exactly aged that well. Some of the jokes, they're fun, but I heard that this movie stands up, and so I'm curious to see where it came from and how the jokes all translate to today. And yeah, they're both just great comic films. I mean, not both of them, but yeah. So, yeah.
It is Jean Rabier, or if that's how you pronounce it. I was saying the last name of a different filmmaker.
Oh,
So-
okay. Yeah, great cinematographer.
I only chose one, Blood Simple, Coen Brothers and Sonnenfeld. So just haven't watched it yet. Very excited. Lots of recommendations. So I'm just very looking forward to this one. So, nothing too crazy.
There's a great supplement on there
No.
with the three of them.
With the three of them?
Mm.
Okay, let's go even better.
And one on the storyboard.
Yeah.
All right, let's do you all want to get towards the center
Yeah.
together and hold up your pics for a photo? Then we can do some individual Polaroids.
Yes,
but
that'd be great.
if you want to get together for one
Yeah.
first.
Can you see everyone?
Yeah, absolutely. If you can see the lens, we can see you.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Stay
That
there,
was great.
please.
That's one of the best groups I've seen.
Yeah, this is I love posing. 1, 2.
Okay, there you go, my dear friends. There it is. So as you can see, or maybe you saw from the video, I just want to share with you what it was that I was able to get. Here is the photo. There you go. There is the Polaroid that was taken. Also, there was a group Polaroid that was also taken. Only one, so we couldn't have like 4 Polaroids taken for each of us to take home. We just had one. So I think one of the other group members took the Polaroid itself, but they allowed us to take a picture of it on my phone, which is what I did. That was totally fine. But there's and then they had Polaroids of us, each of us individually. There's my individual Polaroid, which we were able to take home, our own individual one. So that was very cool indeed. And then as some of you might have seen in the video, I did choose 3 titles, and let me just share with you what they were. The first one is Killer of Sheep. This is the 4K, the recent release of Killer of Sheep, the Charles Burnett film. I have seen this film many times. I saw it when it was in the theater when I was living in New York several years back. It had been released in a limited capacity, but it was virtually impossible to watch prior to that release, because after it was made in late 70s, it wasn't subject to any kind of home media distribution. But then it found theatrical release, in the mid 2000s or so, I want to say, in New York theaters. And I remember not knowing anything about Killer of Sheep, but then I read the newspapers, or I remember someone reading something that someone said about how, oh, this is one of the most important American films of the 20th century. You've got to go see it. It's one of those films that it's been impossible to see until now. And then it was made available. And then several years later, fast forward to 2025 right now, it's being released on home media by Criterion in a 4K. So I wanted to get that. So that's Killer of Sheep, number 1. Number 2, I already have this title, but it was also recently released. Mishima, A Life in 4 Chapters, 4K. I'm a big fan of this film. And in fact, I can say that this could be contender for one of my favorite Criterion releases of all time. But I wanted to get the 4K. I have the Blu-ray, I have the DVD, but I wanted to get the 4K disc as well. And a special treat, I should say, I was speaking with one of the members of the Criterion Collection team there, and she was saying, she was member of the production team, and she said that she oversaw the production of this actual release, Mishima Life in 4 Chapters. So she was talking about how she was talking with Paul Schrader and putting together the supplements, etc. She spoke to me about this cover, and how the cover, it was she gave me this great anecdote about how they came about this cover choice of this interesting sort of split screen type of effect. And she mentioned how the split screen, due to a printing error, came about. So it was happenstance that this kind of split screen approach came into effect, but it works. It absolutely works. And I told her that this is such a perfect embodiment of the various the various sort of clashes of Mishima's various points of personality. He is a figure of many different, sometimes even colliding or conflicting points, and this cover, I think, speaks volumes to that. The different personages and viewpoints of Mishima himself, but also like gold, shiny gold, clashing with fluorescent pink and yellow. I mean, it's a clash it's the ultimate embodiment of Mishima, as seen in Paul Schrader's work here. So it's fantastic. So, and also she was saying to me how for one scene, there is a slight color difference, she was saying, in terms of what the 4K presentation has to offer versus what the Blu-ray presentation has to offer. That's what she said. So, and referring to a scene that occurs somewhat later, one scene. That's what she said. And so very interesting, basically based on what elements were made available for purposes of the restoration. So I do want to, I just want to, just mention that as well. So that was very cool. So this is the second title I got. So far, yes, Killer of Sheep, that was the first one. And the second one was Mishima, Life in 4 Chapters. Again, one of my favorite releases of all time from Criterion. But then I was left with the third title. What should I get? What should I get for the third title? I am looking for Criterion titles that I don't have, for example, like maybe the most recent titles. Like I don't yet have, as of the time of this recording, for instance, the Three Musketeers, the Four Musketeers, Richard Lester films, great films. They've had The Wiz, the Sidney Lumet musical. I don't have that yet, obviously. It hasn't been released yet. Brazil 4K. I didn't get a chance to come around to getting that yet. I will, but not yet. So, and other titles, these are great selections, of course. And I thought maybe I should fill that third title spot with something else that I don't have yet. One of the recent releases. And so I thought about that. But at the end of the day, I thought nothing, I don't want to knock any of those films that I've mentioned. All fantastic films. I would have loved to have gotten those. Definitely, definitely. But at the end of the day, I thought, well, for that third slot, I thought, I'm never going to be in this position again. I thought I'm never going to be able to go to the Criterion Closet like this, in this exciting, euphoric way, like a party atmosphere. So I thought, well, if this is going to be the last time that am able to do this, I thought, let me get something that will commemorate it, maybe make it like a wonderful memento. Not to say that the films that I would mention wouldn't have done so. They would have made wonderful memories, of course. They would have had. But I wanted to just maybe say, what is something that I could say is among my favorite Criterion releases ever? Maybe it's in fact my favorite Criterion release ever. And it's something I already have. But I thought, I could say, oh, I got this at the Criterion Closet in Santa Monica in June 2025. I have it on the shelf. I've shown it many times, but I thought I've got to get this at the Criterion Closet, and that's what I did. For my third film, my third release or third disc, I got Spy Number 42, Fishing with John. So I get Fishing with John. This is the old school DVD with the bar here. Logo, and it says on the back, it says the Classic Collection. It doesn't say the Criterion Collection. It says the Classic Collection, a joint venture between Janus Films and Home Vision Cinema. That's what it says right there in small print. I apologize, maybe it's difficult to read there, but the Classic Collection, Fishing with John. This is among my favorites, and it could be my favorite Criterion release ever. 6 episodes, fishing with various guests, like Tom Waits, like Jim Jarmusch, like Willem Dafoe, Matt Dillon, Dennis Hopper. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I can't say enough. How much I love this. This is great. So I love this. This old school lo-fi. It's just DVD, nuts and bolts DVD. It might not be as impressive as some of those great 4K releases that we've seen. Oh my goodness, we've seen so many great 4K releases, and it's wonderful stuff. It's so great to see those, and the improving technology. Of course, it's great to see that. But there's something to be said about the old school Criterion DVD, the old school logo, just the lo-fi. It's sort of a TV series type of aesthetic that's maintained. It's a casual. It might very, very. Very, very just casual, very just low key, and it works so sublimely, so perfectly. So it's my favorite. So I wanted to have this, my favorite release, as being one of the titles that I got today, the Criterion Closet. So that's what I chose. And I should say too that I asked people in the line what they were thinking of getting, and some people were just there. Everyone was so excited about what it was they were getting. I know a lot of people mentioned and the same people mentioning Umbrellas of Cherbourg, or some people were mentioning La Haine, or the Three Colors, Trois Couleurs. The Decalogue came up a lot. The box sets came up a lot. The Godzilla Showa era set came up a lot in conversation. What else came up in conversation a lot? I mean, so many titles. My goodness, so many. But they sort of spanned the sort of not just the recent releases, mind you. They spanned the sort of the entirety of the collection writ large. So that was really great to see. Really wonderful. The Zatoichi set came up. Someone was asking in line. Maybe, I don't know if you're watching, my dear friend, but there was a conversation that we had about what are some sets, and the Zatoichi set came up. The Olympics box set came up. The Fellini set came up. The Agnes Varda set came up so many times in conversation. That was wonderful. The Before trilogy. Oh goodness. Itumaba Tambien came up a lot. Oh, that's great. Oh man, so many. Weekend, Roma came up a lot. Um, David Lynch works, A Lost Highway, Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. It was wonderful. Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. Um, I think I must have seemed very obnoxious to the people around me, but the Criterion Collection crew were very graciously handing out bottles of water at some point. And they did that a lot. They were handing out things that was great. They were handing out bottles of water. They're handing out chocolate chip cookies from New York. I think it was great. They were so much like there was these lovely cookies that were, I think, had a lot of grease on the back. It was so delicious. It was great. And like candy, like Twizzlers and chips and water, and it was hot. So some people were handing out like offering to provide sunscreen. The Criterion Collection crew, the Aero Theater volunteers, everyone was so gracious, so kind, so polite. They were so friendly, walking around, talking with people, smiles, very forthcoming about what was available in stock, what wasn't, and always very open, and just a lovely, lovely group. So accommodating, such gracious hosts. The Criterion Collection crew, the Aero Theater crew, the volunteers, the people there in Santa Monica, and the residents there who put up with the large crowds. Everyone was so polite, so kind. And I really want to thank everyone who's there on behalf of me, and just all of us. You made it possible. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't be able to do that. That was absolutely wonderful. But yeah, what was I saying? So part of that, their graciousness was that some of the people in the Criterion Collection team, they were handing out bottles of water. So kind, and just free bottles of water to people. And so I wanted a bottle of water, and it was my second one at the time. So I said, I reached over and I said, I'll take that second bottle of mineral water. Or no, what did I say? I'll take that second mineral water. I messed that up. I apologize. But that's what I said. I said, I'll take that second mineral water. And so, but I mentioned this to another person in the line who had mentioned to me that one of the titles that she wanted to get was Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. And I asked her, "Oh, are you a fan of Twin Peaks?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Oh yeah, I said this thing. I said, I'll take that second mineral water." And she got it immediately. She laughed, and everyone else laughed. I said, "Oh, I was so happy." I was so happy. So that's my roundabout way of saying that there are a lot of people who were talking about David Lynch films. Oh my goodness, yes. Jean-Pierre Melville films came up a lot. I was talking to a group. They were talking about Le Cercle Rouge and also Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai. I was talking about, that's kind of, many ways extension of a la Le Samurai. But oh my goodness, it was great, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And then many people there too, like Jacques Demy came up a lot, Tati came up a lot, and also people who were maybe having random numbers because maybe the third of the three was eluding them. They weren't quite sure yet, and so they were thinking, how will I decide? How will I decide on the one hand? But also it would be like something that they could, some divine choice or something. It would come to, it was so great. It was it was like a party. It was absolutely great. So, and I want to thank everyone who was there talking. I hope you're seeing this video. And I hope you are. And if you are, please reach out to me. Please comment. I just want to say thank you so much to all of you who talked to me. Some of you knew me from the YouTube channel, so you like say, "Hey, Daisuke," you actually offered to shake my hand and just stopped me to say hi. Like, I was so honored by that. Like, thank you so much. And then there were others who just very friendly, and just talking very freely about what it was they wanted to do, like how they felt about cinema. There's a great talk I had about films that you wanted to be encouraged to watch again. Maybe it didn't quite click for you the first time. I had this great conversation with someone about how they were encouraged to try to watch a film that maybe didn't quite work for them the first time, and they got into it again. And I spoke to them too about my experiences about films by Fellini, Antonioni. Oh, it was so great. It was so great. And also I was talking to, someone had a shirt that was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie shirt. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I mentioned, oh, I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too, The Secret of the Ooze. And I showed them the video clip of on my phone of Ninja Rap, Vanilla Ice, and the great David Warner and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighting and dancing at the same time. When are you ever going to see that in cinema, my dear friends? The Ninja Turtles fighting and dancing while Vanilla Ice is performing and while David Warner is dancing. Perfect synchronicity. That was great, among other things. And so, just to say that I had a blast speaking with everyone that I was able to speak to, and I want to thank you for allowing me to intrude upon your space there for those moments. I wish I wasn't too. I must have been. I must have seemed that way, to be so like such an imposition, intruding upon your otherwise tranquil Saturday morning, afternoon time. So I apologize, but I probably let my enthusiasm get the better of me. But I was very, very happy to hear people speak about the films that they want. People were talking about. I remember Koyanis Katsi. I remember the Thin Blue Line. That was great. So Philip Glass Connections. That was really wonderful. Oh, Harakiri, of course. Harakiri. Yes, the gentleman that was going to. Yes, he wanted also to get Harakiri, which was a wonderful choice. And there's a Golden Age of Television mentioned there, which I thought was such a lovely touch as well, etc., 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 etc. So and many others that I'm maybe not mentioning now, and I apologize if I'm not mentioning, but great conversations. Oh, and even it wasn't a Saturday, but a Friday. I was talking with someone. I remember he had a shirt that had heat. I was like, oh yes, it's great. And so talking about heat and get me all you got, and just talking about the. Al Pacino and De Niro, of course. So just going on and on about, and then that same group they were talking about other films like Wim Wenders. Perfect Days came up a lot in conversation. Paris, Texas came up a lot in conversation. Oh, it was great, a great time, absolutely great time. The Criterion Collection fans are there. And it's not just exclusive to Criterion. Now, these are people who love movies, who love cinema, who love to go to the movie theater around the corner, Aero, or maybe like to talk about other people are talking about other things like the Vinegar Syndrome, like pop-up store that might come up soon, or other sales that might come up soon. So people are talking about like Aero or Kino or other labels, Shout Factory. So it was absolutely great. So it was such a welcoming, warm feeling that was there. So it ranged in terms of people who just in age range, etc. It was so wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I felt so proud. I felt so proud to be like. To be considered maybe part of that community, to people who love movies and who love the Criterion Collection and other things. We were there for the Criterion Collection, of course, right? But we're there also, we love Criterion because we love movies and vice versa. And it's there, and then it also branches out into other things. And you really felt that, yesterday and my conversations with people and then today. So I was so encouraged. And I'm so sorry this video is going so long, but let me just focus on one more thing, if I may, which is I also got one of the most delightful surprises of my life, which is this. And part of me, I don't want to sound overly gosh, if this sounds like I'm bragging or something, I apologize. I don't mean to, but the Criterion Collection people, they recognized me when I was there. I went up to the door of the Criterion closet, just waiting to go in. And the person, there's so many people from the Criterion Collection there. They're wearing the C shirt, and some were wearing the caps. You could tell. So and then they were all preparing. They were doing their roles so diligently, so well. And so we had one very friendly person there at the head of the line, directing people what they should do, and then someone else directing people just outside of the door of the Criterion closet. So I was there with my other group of members of 3. So we totaled 4, of course. And she was very politely, as we were waiting, asking us, "Oh, what are you going to get in the collection? Are you excited, etc." And are you, how did you get into Criterion? Do you have a lot of titles? And I said, yeah, I like Criterion very much. Do you have a lot of titles already? And so she asked me the question, and I said, "Oh, well." And I couldn't resist. We still had some time for the previous group to finish up their closet tour. So I said, what the heck? And so I pulled out my phone and I said, well, I do have a number of titles, and I showed my video of I once made a video a few years back when I was living in Japan, and I made a little Criterion closet in the Tokyo apartment that I was living in at the time. I don't live there anymore, but therefore I don't have that closet there anymore. But I made a video where I showed the closet that I store the Criterions in, and then I showed the video, and she was so shocked, like, "Oh my God, you made a closet in your house?" And I said, "Yeah, and how many titles?" And I said, "Oh yeah, it's all the titles." "What do you mean all the?" "Yeah, it's all the titles." So I was very fortunate to get all the titles. "And what do you?" And then someone else came up, and I said, "Yeah. So this booklet," and I just wanted to, what do you? So do you have the titles in booklet? "Yeah, and I said I'm very fortunate to say that I have everything in the booklet." And then I also said, "Oh yeah, I was so fortunate to catch up with all the Laserdiscs. I think I was able to catch up with the laser. I also have a video of that in my channel as well." And then so they were saying, "Oh my," they were saying this to other people there, and then it spread the word. And then suddenly some other people came up to me and said, "Oh, Daisuke, I know." And then they gave me a hug, and I said, "Oh, we know you." And they were so, what did they were saying, how we watch the videos, and we appreciate how you are really supporting Criterion and showcasing the brand. And I said, Are you kidding me? This is such a great surprise." And I was saying to everyone, "No, the pleasure's all mine. What are you saying? I'm just so happy to have been able to meet Criterion. It's taught me so much to watch it, and then but to get this reaction from the people there at the Criterion Collection team there on the ground. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. So I don't know if you're watching this now. It's already, by the time, I think the video is already super like overly long. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna get some negative comments. I know. That's okay. I apologize for my terrible editing skills, my over length, making of videos. But what the heck? I will continue on, not for very much longer, but continue on. But at the off chance that anyone at the great Criterion Collection team, anyone is still watching this video, I want to say to you from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for recognizing me in the way that you did in such a friendly manner today, and for saying that you know me and that you watch the videos. Thank you so much for that. I'm very honored by that. I don't deserve that attention, but the fact that you mentioned that, it was, and then you were so, like, everyone was so kind. It was like I was, I felt like a VIP for like that small moment in time. I felt, so and just, "Oh, are you okay? Do you need?" And people were so like, I was so overwhelmed by that kindness. So thank you so much. For that, I really, I'm very humbled by that. Thank you. So if you're still here, Criterion Collection team, I just want to say once again, you did a great job. You handed out cookies and pizza and candy and water and sunscreen, and you were friendly to everyone. You were always, you never let anything get you down. Always smiling, always upbeat, always forthcoming, always talking with us in the crowd there. So it was absolutely wonderful. And then just that recognition that you showed to me and it was, of course, you knew other people there. It wasn't just, it wasn't just the Daisuke show. Obviously, many other people were there. So, but just for that brief moment that I was close to the van, you showed me the such generosity and courtesy, and you hugged me, and you wanted to, you wanted to take pictures of me, like, together with me. You said, "Oh, can I take a picture?" You asked me, "Oh, can I take a picture?" I was, what are you talking about? That's my line to you, of course. No, so I was just totally overwhelmed by that. And then also, then they interviewed me for, I think, well, I don't know, maybe it turned out really bad, so maybe they won't use it at the end of the day, but they did did an interview with me, so about asking me some questions and some titles. So I think I mentioned, like, what was one of the questions was something like, what can you give an example of a title that you think really exemplifies what Criterion does best? I'm paraphrasing that. So what's a title? I was thinking. So I just mentioned one of the recent titles, which I think Criterion did a home run on, which is Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. As I mentioned, it's wonderful packaging, many versions to showcase. It has a maybe troubled production history, of course, but at the end of the day, it also allows for many versions of the film, including more recent, attentions that allow for not just an examination of the production of the film, but also an ultimate appreciation and celebration of the film in this sort of finished form, while also revisiting many different versions of it. So I thought Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. That's what I mentioned. So it was like for me, it was like meeting Elvis and the Beatles, but then it was like I was meeting the Beatles, and it was like it was like I saw, like, then, like, Paul, John, George, and Ringo. Oh, hello, Daisuke. How are you? Like, oh my gosh, can I take a picture with you? I was like, that was amazing. That was like amazing, absolutely amazing. So yeah, it was amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, it was quite a day. It was quite a day indeed. And I can't thank you enough. And also, again, and then also quick shout out to people that I spoke with, in the line as we were waiting. And some of you recognize me from the channel. You know who you are. So if you're out there, send me a comment. Send me drop me a message or something. I'd love to hear back from you. What did you end up getting in the closet from the Criterion closet? I'd love to hear. So you just write a comment saying, "Oh, Daisuke, this is we met in the line at the Aero Theater. So this is, just send me a comment message. I'd love to hear, my dear friends. Definitely. Oh, please do if you're still here. But. Oh my goodness, what a day. What a day indeed. That was great. So I apologize for my lack of control over my enthusiasm today, and I'm just so overlong with this video. I know people are already sick of it. I know. I apologize. I'm so sorry. But I hope you can understand that it is for I think reasons which I think aren't completely beyond the realm of comprehension. It is, I think, it is for for reasons that I think are not outside the bounds of reasonableness. So at least I hope not. But in any event, that was my day today. So I want to thank everyone that I was very gracious in giving their time to speak with me. I want to thank the Criterion Collection people, the Aero Theater people, the volunteers who were there, early morning hours and also into the daytime when the sun was getting hot and everything. And also the people in Santa Monica who put up with us and were very friendly. And I was talking with a couple. and they said, why are you lining up? And I said, oh, it's for the Criterion Collection, and it's physical media. And they didn't, and nothing against it, but they were like, what is this physical media? So I had this lovely conversation with this couple who were interested in what is the fascination with physical media, and they weren't demeaning it. And actually, one of them was, they said to me later, I'm so sorry if it sounded like I was demeaning this. It's something I just am not familiar with, and so I don't quite understand. But I apologize if I sound that way. And I said, no need to apologize. This is maybe something that might not necessarily might necessarily be immediately available for everyone, but it's out there if you're looking for it. And places like Criterion, places like I didn't mention them by name, but other places that still sell this, it has a value in ways that really enrich our appreciation and engagement with these works. And of course, we still have streaming, we still have these options, so you can still go with that. And even Criterion has its Criterion Channel streaming service, so you can definitely go with that as well. But this is a place, I think, where if this is another place for cinema, which is a vast ocean, so many options. Criterion, but not just Criterion, many other options, of course. But cinema is a vast ocean, and so that's what we discussed. So it was a lovely conversation I had with this very friendly couple there as I was leaving. So very, very nice. And so it's just great feelings all around. Great feelings all around. It was great. And then also, I just want to say too that I showed yesterday the guy who showed me that he got the 4K of Sorcerer. William Friedkin came up in conversation, so I wanted to. There's the great, I think it was from 1997 or 1998, the AFI Greatest Films broadcast, which it's the 1997-1998 version. I want to say 1998. So you can find it on YouTube now. I think. Be sure it's the 1998 version. It's like 2-3 hours, something like that. And when it's not the versions that were edited later. It's that version that was like 1998. So you got to look for it on you, but I think it's still there on YouTube. What was broadcast on TV, the AFI Greatest Films Ever Made. And a spoiler, the greatest film is Citizen Kane, according to the AFI. And so you have all these people talking about Citizen Kane is the greatest film ever made, like David Copperfield, I think, says Citizen Kane, or Burt Reynolds talks about Citizen Kane. And he says the great comment about how Citizen Kane. It was Citizen Kane, and I'm paraphrasing, but Burt Reynolds said Citizen Kane. It needed to be in black and white because the news is in black and white, and I love it. That's great. And I bring it up in conversation here because as I was talking to this person who got the 4K of Sorcerer yesterday, William Friedkin directed film, I said, oh, have you seen that clip of William Friedkin talking about Citizen Kane and the AFI greatest films ever made? So I showed him the YouTube video. I went up to the end, near the end there, to get William Friedkin's a quote there about Citizen Kane, and I apologize for my terrible William Friedkin impression, of William Friedkin. I mean no disrespect. I respect his work so much, but it was talking about Citizen Kane, which he's gone on record saying that was the film that was the entry point into cinema, into like loving cinema. He went to see Citizen Kane that was playing in a movie theater on the basis of a recommendation from a friend. He went like in the morning and he stayed the entire day, just watch all the showings. So it was like it just transformed his viewpoint on cinema, which is a beautiful anecdote if you ever get a chance to hear a William Friedkin interview. But for this William Friedkin comment on the AFI greatest films ever made, number one, Citizen Kane. William Friedkin says, Citizen Kane is the Mount Everest of filmmaking. That is the summit. Citizen Kane is the Mount Everest. So there you go. So anyway, the Mount Everest of cinema. And maybe to some also Criterion Collection is the Mount Everest of labels, physical media labels. Do you feel that way? I know perhaps a number of people might feel that way. And even if you don't, it's still, there's still plenty of room to say that Criterion and others, but Criterion is among them, they still are keeping the cinema passion lights alive. And it's definitely showing in days like today. So let me end it there. Otherwise, I'm just going to go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So I don't want to bore you further than I already have. So in any event, thank you very much for a lovely day, my dear friends. Thank you, thank you. It was truly and utterly divine. So until the next video, my dear friends, stay strong, stay safe, and cheers.